What up, y'all, and welcome to Auto Club Speedway for the California round number 19 of the 2023 Napa Truck Series season. Blaze McKinney's got his first pole position of the year, second of his Napa Truck Series career, with championship contender AJ Jones to his outside. Points leader Ace Wild starts in row 2 with surprise qualifying run by the 65 of Al Bunch to his right. Now fourth in the point standings, Luke Martin in row 3 with Bradley Bishop Jr., who comes into this race fifth in the points. Row 4, Austin Rogers and Dewey Schramm III. And rounding out the top 10, you've got Sean Ard and Edward Ciemba. We're fresh off a Monster Energy Racing 1-2-3 finish from Massachusetts. Win courtesy to Huck Davis. First career win for him. He starts in 12th this afternoon. You've got Bob Burns there to his inside in 11th. William Brock in 13th. Tip Foster starting in 16th. And those are all of your current championship contenders that are still in range. After today's race, you got to be within 99 points to have a points chance at maybe getting the championship on a tiebreaker. At this point, you would have to win. Some of these drivers would have to win out to get the tiebreaker over William Brock, who's got 4 victories. There's also the owner points battle, but we don't really talk about that. The one currently leads that, so we could have a different owner's champion compared to driver's champion here in the Napa Truck Series this year. As Ryan Butcher making another start here on the season. He got 4th in his only race for S3 Motorsports. I believe that was back at Kansas. I might be mistaken on that. Gatlin Downey also with a one-off. That'll be the last attempt for the 76 North Border Motorsports truck. As getting down to the end of the season. But so looking at the championship picture, Ace Wild, the points leader once again with a 21-point lead over William Brock. AJ Jones is in third, 24 points back, with Luke Martin down to fourth, 25 points back. Those are the immediate contenders that could jump to the points lead in a one-race swing. Bradley Bishop Jr. and Tip Foster, they are both 45 points back, so they need to get within that 33-point window over these next 3 races if they want a chance. And then a little further back, Bob Burns, who had a tire go down last time out in the round of Massachusetts, he is 69 points back, so he's got to gain a ton of points over Ace Wild these next 3 races. Heck, the next 2 races, if he wants to even stay within a 2-race range of the championship. Edward Ciemba's got a chance to get within 99 points today. He's 105 points back. But he's going to have his work cut out for him. Same goes for Ryan Griffin, who comes in 121 points back. Let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Fire hope. Fire up. Fire hope. Fire up. Fire hope. Radio check.
The drivers that did not qualify for today's race will scroll across the top of the screen. Ben McDonnell, hometown driver, was fastest in practice, setting a 39.349. He starts towards the rear of the field. It's a clear, sunny day here in California, 67 degrees with an east wind of 8 miles an hour. The fuel window for today's race is 23 to 26 laps. And tire wear will be way up on this abrasive surface, 4.5 to 5.5 seconds of tire fall off. If you've seen a Napa Truck Series race before, you know that if you overcut, draft is usually your key to victory. So going to be really hard for anybody to have that draft on the overcut here today. So if the overcut is going to work, I think you need a long run and you need a green flag pit cycle to complete for it to benefit you. Green flag is out. We are underway here at Auto Club. So it begs the question, What strategy calls will we see from which teams here today? Ace Wild wasting no time to the inside of Blaze McKinney as he slides up to the top of the wall off of turn 2. Drag race down the back straightaway. AJ Jones behind McKinney giving a push into turn 3. Wild with a good run through the middle of the corner. Now Jones going to go low on McKinney to help out Ace Wild, and Wild leads the first lap of the race, but now AJ Jones is going to look for that race lead himself down into turn 1. Plenty of room between the 42 and the 30. Wild going to try and get a run here on corner exit. Now he's got McKinney helping him, giving him a push down the back straightaway. That'll push him past AJ Jones into turn 3. Jones not giving up just yet, but what you're going to notice here early in the going is the outside line, especially late in the going. Outside line is the defensive place to be. You'll see drivers get really good runs there all race long. As Austin Rogers goes to the middle, Blaze McKinney and Al Bunch 3 wide for third. Going into turn 1. Now Wild and Jones 1-2 single file. We've seen Austin Rogers have a lot of pace here in the second half of the season. Still looking for that first win of 2023. And perhaps it could come here this afternoon. Meanwhile, Luke Martin, his teammate, has been falling backwards. Martin started inside the top 10 on the inside line, but has fallen all the way down to 13th place so far. Same goes for Bradley Bishop Jr., 18th at the start-finish line. And the 28 and the 88 are currently going backwards. Meanwhile, 2 drivers that started outside of the top 30 have been moving forward, and that is the 5 of Arya Carmona and the 15 of Jerry Cook. And they are making the bottom very well here. Making use of the bottom very well. They have been really flying up through the field. Didn't expect to see the bottom work this well. But the 15 and the 5 are getting it done. Jerry Cook now on the verge of jumping into the top 10 after just 5 laps here around California. Sean R., JD Martin also with good runs currently up here inside the top 10. We mentioned Al Bunch with that surprising qualifying effort. He has managed to stay in the top 10, while Luke Martin and Bradley Bishop Jr., they have been the ones to fall down towards the edge of the top 20. Battle for the lead is on here down the back straightaway. AJ Jones to the inside of Ace Wild in turn 1 right after we cut that first clip. Wild with some draft help from McKinney down the back straightaway, but AJ Jones with a great 3 and 4. And Jones will clear Wild for the race lead here. 10% of the way into this one. And AJ Jones is looking to do all he can to gain all the points he needs on Ace Wild to fight Wild for this championship. Here at the end of the season, it's shaping up to be the biggest fight in the FBRL this year as far as the number of drivers in contention go, outside of perhaps the Sony Cup Series. It's the Sony Cup Series and the Napa Truck Series with similar but very different points formats this year. Napa Truck Series top 20 points paying, Sony Cup Series top 10 points paying. And you know, despite the Hardee's National Series giving points to every position, it has not created the most dynamic championship battle due to Corey Williams' dominance. Wild now fighting Blaze McKinney for second on the inside of the 44. McKinney with a good run down the back straightaway will take second place back. Now Austin Rogers dives to the inside of Wild, looking for third. Wild will get a good run here off of turn 4. Now looking to maybe set up a move back to the inside of McKinney. That is the case. To the inside of McKinney, he will go as now William Brock flies by Austin Rogers with a run on the top up to 4th. Dewey Schramm the 3rd looking to follow to take 5th. Now Sean Ard going to make a move in the middle of the 82 in the 9-3 wide there at the back of the picture. Wild not quite clear of McKinney, but now Sean Ard by Austin Rogers for 5th. As now Brock looking to push Wild past McKinney and looking to take 3rd place himself. Wild giving Brock some draft, but Brock also looking low to maybe make a move of his own. Wild clears back into 2nd place, Brock into 3rd, as the Freeze Racing team trucks of McKinney and Ard are now 4th and 5th. Quite the day so far for the Freeze team. Sean Ard going to be moving on to the Hardy's National Series next year, while Blaze McKinney is rumored to have a Sony Cup Series ride lined up. So this team will look different yet the same in 2024, as Ryan Reed and Zachary Fitzwater Jr. will be driving these trucks. So Ryan Reed definitely happy to probably see the pace here out of these 2 trucks here at California, as Wild fighting back. AJ Jones now for the race lead. But AJ Jones and McKinney get a good run down the back straightaway. Now Wild is fighting McKinney for 2nd place. And Jones will continue to hold the top spot for the time being. Not going so hot still for Bradley Bishop Jr. He's currently down in 20th place, just inside the top 20 right now, racing Mac Johnson for 19th. You see Ryan Butcher in his 2nd start of the year for Crossroads Racing. This time around for Crossroads Racing, that is. First time was for S3 Motorsports. He is currently just outside the top 20. You got Will Goss, who started outside of the top 30. He has moved forward up to what I believe will be 22nd here at the start-finish line. Dom Capps for Revolution Racing has been unable to really go anywhere this afternoon. He is in 24th. 56 is Patrick Smith this afternoon, currently 25th. You see Luke Martin has fallen all the way down here to 26th place. Just not sure what is wrong with this truck at the moment. Just can't do anything to go forward. He's racing Edward Siemba, who's facing a similar problem. Same can be said for Ryan Griffin, who's down to 30th. Malik Nevins down in 31st. Or actually, Nevins is 30th. Griffin is 29th. Cody Goforth in the 84 for Single C. He's also back here in the dumps. Nick Breeding from Morris Motorsports hasn't been able to do much in what is his final start of the year. Same goes for Gatlin Downey in the 76. Aiden Smith, man, having a tough go at it down here in 39th. Seth Cole and Eric Monaco at the very back of the field. JD Martin has jumped into the top 5, currently running in 3rd place, racing against Blaze McKinney and William Brock for the position. We've got some new challengers up here in the top 10. You see Jerry Cook, who's been in the top 10 for a handful of laps now. But you also got Tib Foster, Huck Davis, and Nelson Reeves, who have joined the top 10 picture. As we're closing in on the first round of green flag pit stop. So you definitely want to be at the front of the field if you're planning to take an overcut strategy. If you're at the back of the field, well, you might want to pit first. As Ace Wild going for the race lead on AJ Jones once again. JD Martin is giving him the assist. And now William Brock lined up behind his teammate of AJ Jones down the back straightaway, but not as close to the back bumper of the 42 as the 1, as is the 27 to the 30. That allowed the 30 to stay even with AJ down the back straightaway. Coming to the line here, we'll have 20 laps completed, 40 laps to go. McKinney now right on the bumper of William Brock. As battle for the lead heats up right before the first pit cycle begins. Jerry Cook to the bumper of McKinney. Huck Davis right behind him. And Wild will drive by AJ Jones. JD Martin will go with him. Now McKinney, Jerry Cook, Huck Davis looking to draft their way by the 42 as well. It's a train of trucks on the inside line versus the Coyote Autosport trucks on the outside line. And now back to Jerry Cook is clear, so Cook up to 4th place. Huck Davis 5th at the start-finish line. And now JD Martin going for the race lead with help from McKinney. Clears Ace Wild into turn 1. And now McKinney to the inside of Martin. McKinney holds pretty low here though, so JD will clear for the top spot. Cook now looking to the middle of McKinney and Wild. Ooh, Jerry Cook gets close to the quarter panel of Wild there. Kind of sends him up the racetrack a wee bit. As JD Martin currently leads this thing here at California. As we start lap 23, remember the fuel window, 23 to 26 laps. And just to show y'all, look at that. Best lap for JD Martin, 39.5. He ran a 43.6 last time by 4 entire seconds of fall off. Fastest lap so far belongs to William Brock. See, is anyone from the front of the field looking to pit here on lap 23? I don't see any takers. No takers whatsoever. As the caution lights have just come on, the caution is out. Oh, and they were 4 wide behind them. That's Arya Carmona with Butcher, Nelson Reeves, and Huck Davis. As Brian Butcher has... Where did he come from? He's all the way up to 9th here, right at the yellow. See if we can figure out... Oh, Eric Monaco's destroyed. Jacques Anderson also destroyed. Oh, Josh Crash was involved. What a surprise. Looks like Cody Goforth is pitting here. I don't see any damage on this truck. Roberto Crown Jr. is in too. Seth Cole. I don't see any damage on these 3. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say we had some trucks crash. We had some trucks crash racing for last that were coming to pit road. So now the entire field's gonna pit here. And I believe whoever came off first out of those 3 that pit right when the yellow came out, I believe those 3 are going to lead the field to the restart. They're already in turn 4. So as we watch everyone come down pit road here, let's just watch. There's Wild going into his stall. There's McKinney going into his. And then you can see them coming here at the start-finish line there. No one is even close to completing their service. So Cody Goforth's going to get the race lead because of this. And Roberto Crown Jr. and Seth Cole are going to be 2nd and 3rd. All right, let's see this race off of pit road. Drag race between Wild and JD Martin. Shawnard, Butcher, Carmona, Huck Davis, Jeff Bolton, Cook, Fisher, Brock, Will Goss. AJ Jones loses a couple positions. McKinney lost a ton of spots. Luke Martin gains nothing. And yeah, let's get a replay. So this is going to happen right here. Literally racing for last. Just about. See Cody Goforth, Roberto Crown Jr. making the commitment to pit. And I'm going to assume here that Eric Monaco did not know Josh Crash was on his inside because he just turned straight down the track into him. And they go straight up the track. Jacques Anderson nowhere to go, and a vicious impact for Josh Crash. That was going about 145 miles an hour. Thank goodness for the safer barriers, because that was the worst angle I think you can hit a wall. Killed his 62 machine instantly. And Eric Monaco and Jacques Anderson, they are both likely done today as well. Both of their trucks with heavy damage and smoking. And that was pretty bad. I'll give you another look at this full speed replay here. You know, vicious lick for the 62 of Josh Crash. We hope he's okay. So we're getting ready to go back racing. We'll have 34 laps to go. Cody Goforth will lead him to the green. After him, Roberto Crown Jr. and Seth Cole pit on the lap of the yellow. And we're able to get back by around the leaders before they came off of pit road. So the undercut still kind of worked here for them. Would have been interesting to see how it played out, considering where the three of them were running if it had been a green flag cycle, but they go straight to the front. Ace Wild is the first out of pit road in 4th, JD Martin 5th, Sean Ard is 6th, Ryan Butcher 7th, Arya Carmona 8th, Huck Davis 9th, and Jeff Bolton rounds out the top 10. You got Fisher, Cook, Brock, Goss, AJ Jones, Foster, Rogers, Schramm, Bob Burns, Bobo Jones, the top 20. And then a couple notables. Nelson Reeves down in 23rd, Siemba 24th. McKinney fell all the way to 26th. Bradley Bishop Jr. down to 28th, and Luke Martin fell to 32nd. Now we know Seth Cole and Roberto Crown Jr., those trucks were running at the rear of the field. So we'll have to see how much pace they have here. As you can see, Seth Cole is already going backwards really fast here. He's got some pace, not a lot of pace, but he's got some, but that's not going to keep him up here at the front of the field. Roberto Crown Jr. losing only a handful of positions here on the opening lap, but they are spreading out 3 wide, 4 wide at the front. And Ace Wild is going to waste no time taking the race lead away from Cody Goforth. He wants the top spot, and Wild moves to the race lead. JD Martin up to 3rd. Ryan Butcher now inside the top 5. Ooh, Huck Davis with a bit of a send there, right on the right rear of Butcher. And he got out of shape because of it and falls back in line behind JD Martin. Now Jerry Cook with a big run's going to take it all the way towards the apron. But now Huck Davis with a big run from the draft of JD Martin. He moves to the inside of Martin, clear in front of Ryan Butcher. And Huck Davis trying to take 3rd away from JD Martin. Seth Cole, I think, has already fallen outside of the top 20. Roberto Crown Jr., though, so far holding on in 10th place. Goforth holding much better here in 2nd place. Huck Davis now looking to the inside of JD Martin for the 3rd place position. And Huck Davis will move in front of JD Martin, clear for 3rd place. And JD will not fight him for the time being. So Davis up in the 3rd with Martin Motorsports teammates 4th and 5th right behind him. Luke Martin cannot catch a break. He's back here mired in traffic. He's about to get put 4 wide off of turn 4, and he's actually going to scrape the wall here. And now he falls all the way to the back of this pack. He was 30th at the line last time by. This time by, he's 37th. So he just lost 7 positions in 1 lap. Bobo Jones is also back here in the 8. He has fallen all the way down the running order, as has the 65 of Al Bunch. You see Luke trying to get back moving forward. Same with Blaze McKinney, who we saw up there fighting for the race lead. He's now down to 32nd, and it just shows you track position matters everywhere. And the pit stops mean so much here in the Napa Truck Series, because it is hard to move back forward. Because remember, these trucks are very draft dependent. So McKinney trying to find a way back forward. Luke Martin in the same boat, and Luke, man, Luke cannot go another race without getting some points. He didn't get any points at Massachusetts last time out. That cost him 3 positions in the point standings. So whatever's wrong with this 28 truck, they got to figure it out. They've got one more pit stop to do it. But time is running out here, lap by lap. Huck Davis with a move to the inside now of teammate Ace Wild for the race lead here. Ryan Butcher right behind him. Interesting statistics. So Butcher got a top 5 in his first start of the year, looking for what would probably be another one, if not going for that win. Remember, Ryan Butcher, 9 career wins in the Napa Truck Series. He was the first to hit 9. He was not the first to hit 10. And I think he's going to make a move for the lead. He gets a good run off a Wild, moves to the inside behind Huck Davis. Will he go 3 wide? He's going to do it, not quite 3 wide, but making the move regardless as Jerry Cook goes to the inside of Wild. Cook with a really good exit off of turn 2. Butcher holding even with Huck Davis. Now Tib Foster on the inside line behind these two. Cook going to look to go to the middle. Instead, he jumps up behind Huck Davis. Battle for the lead is on right now. Butcher looking to break a tie in 2 categories here as Tib Foster going for the race lead. He's going to make it 3 wide. Wild has fallen down to 6th. Still side by side. Tib Foster way down the racetrack. Now jumping back up towards the middle in front of Jerry Cook as Butcher takes the race lead. Those 2 categories that he's looking to break the tie in are the top 5s and top 10s all time. Tied with top 5s with Luke Martin at 23. Tied at top 10s with Blake Warren at 35. Now, granted, on the top 5 front, Luke Martin races this full time. Butcher doesn't. So, even if he breaks the tie today, it won't probably, it's not going to stand for long. Forget the statistics. Let's watch the race, man. Frickin' Tib Foster to the inside of Ryan Butcher once again, looking for the top spot. He's got teammate Huck Davis right there with him, but Davis is giving draft to the 31. Tib, though, getting a really good exit off of turn 4. Can he lead here at the start-finish line? Just able to. Remember, Tib's one of those drivers, 45 points back to teammate Ace Wild. He needs to find a way to gain points on the 30. And Tib Foster will move to the race lead. Tib with just 1 win on the season. Got it back early on at Road Atlanta. His teammates of Ace Wild and Huck Davis have won the last 2 races. Can Tib make it a team 3 in a row? And get his 2nd win of the year. 20 laps to go now. 2nd pit cycle coming up. We'll see if they don't crash it this time. But right now, MER 1-2 with Tibb in the lead and Huck Davis in second. Butcher third, got Jerry Cook to his inside looking for the spot in fourth. And Ace Wild currently rounds out the top 5. How about Bradley Bishop Jr. has rebounded tremendously here during this run. And he is up inside the top 10. That time by at the start-finish line put the 88 in 6th place. We're seeing Cody Goforth start to fall down the running order. William Brock also back inside the top 10. AJ Jones as well. How about Zach Flickinger in the City 66 for Burns Motorsports? This team shutting down at the end of the year. They needed a driver. Flickinger's running full-time Hardys next year. So they came to an agreement to run these last 5 races together, and it's going to help Zach Flickinger get some of that rust off. And he has driven this 66 truck up inside the top 20. This truck, Burns Motorsports, in a partnership with Breeding the last 2 years now, counting this season. So it looks like that partnership has finally started to show some good product for the 66 team, but a shame that they are shutting down at year's end. So we are in the window. You can make it from here if you pit, so it's going to be all about who bites first as we start lap 44. Huck Davis looking to take the top spot back from teammate Tibb Foster right before the pit cycle opens. Butcher going to give a hand to the 36 to get him by the 47. Now Butcher going to be looking to take second place as well. They formed a bit of a gap back to Ace Wild. There's now Wild and Cook. Started to pull away. Oh, excuse me. I should not be yawning. It's pretty exciting and it's not boring at all. Butcher still not quite clear of Huck Davis. I mean, Tibb Foster, sorry. As it's not going to matter, they're pitting. Foster will stay out. Jerry Cook will stay out. First 3 down will be Huck Davis, Ryan Butcher, and Ace Wild. Bradley Bishop Jr., Nelson Reeves in. Luke Martin down pit road. Blaze McKinney. Good amount of drivers here down on the first round of stops. So Tibb Foster on the overcut. He'll come down the pit road this time by on lap 47. Ironic. Jerry Cook, Austin Rogers, AJ Jones, William Brock in. A Zach Flickinger has blown up coming to pit road. And his day's going to be over. Edward Siemba also in. I saw a couple drivers stay out. So we see the first group head off of pit road. Yep, there they are. Patrick Smith and Roberto Crown Jr. elected to go one more lap. Seeing if they could draw a yellow, perhaps. Oh, Roberto about cleaned out Bradley Bishop Jr. going to pit there. So 56, 57, last 2 in, and that'll complete the pit cycle. Leaderboard will update this time by Ryan Butcher is the race leader here in California. He's got Huck Davis behind him in second, Ace Wild fourth, right behind Aria Carmona in third. So this is The main battle here for the win will be between these 4 drivers. Everyone took 4 tires. You got Bradley Bishop Jr., Nelson Reeves, 5th and 6th. They are battling for that position. Tib Foster all the way back in 7th. The first one on the overcut, 4.5 back. And you gotta think, unless he can get some draft somewhere really quickly, it's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough for him to close this gap all the way back up to the top 4 unless they really start duking it out. Right now, they've been pretty uniform, pretty single file. Huck Davis still looking for the race lead here at 10 to go. Huck Davis with no help. He'll jump back in line. Now Carmona with a run will look for second. Ace Wild looking to maybe follow Carmona by. Not helping his teammate just yet. Now, though, he gets a big run. He'll go glued right to the bumper of the 36 and give him a huge push here down the front straightaway. But now he's going to use that run for himself in the middle 3 wide. And Wild will move up to 2nd place. Bradley Bishop Jr. and Nelson Reeves, they are falling away from the leaders. Tib Foster, though, starting to close. Same with Jerry Cook. Jerry Cook also on the overcut. Luke Martin has jumped up into the top 15. Pit crew doing a wonderful job. Got this 28 up to the top 15. He might have a shot at the top 10 just yet. You got William Brock and AJ Jones in this pack as well. But of course, the championship leader is ahead of them all. So at this point, you're hoping he either blows up, gets wrecked, or you just got to get all the positions you can to minimize the damage. And the last thing they want to see this 30 truck do is win the race, because that would be the most damage he could deal with where he's running. Wild with a big run here on Butcher is going to look for the race lead here with 7 to go. Aria Carmona starting to fall back away from the top 3 as Tib Foster gets by Bradley Bishop Jr. for 5th. Wild not quite clear there from his teammate Huck Davis. He tried to jump in front of him before the corner. Couldn't quite get it done, but he'll be clear here off of 4. Ryan Butcher chasing 10 career wins in the Napa Truck Series to tie Luke Martin once again on the all-time leaderboard. Butcher has not had quite the year he's wanted in his sophomore year in the Hardee's National Series. Has not visited victory lane in that series this year. And he'll be going Sony Cup Series racing for the final season of 2024. So you know Ryan Butcher wants to win. You know he wants to succeed. They're side by side for 3rd. Behind them now Carmona on the outside of Huck Davis with 5 to go. And Tib Foster's closing the gap. It's down to 2.6 seconds. But he doesn't have much help. Jerry Cook has yet to get by Reeves and BBJ. And that's going to probably stall Tib out a little bit without that draft assist from behind. Excuse me. Huck Davis clear of Carmona, but he better get up in front of her. He's getting no draft right now. You see Butcher a little bit better in the corner, but then that Monster Energy Racing engine and Better aerodynamics really starts to kick in the draft down the straightaway. Not so much there, though, on the back straightaway that time by. As you see Tibb, without someone 2 tenths behind him in the draft, he only gained the 10th last time by. And he really needs to start chipping away at this lead with 3 laps to go. Wild going to make another move at the race lead on Butcher. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Davis closing up from 3rd. Carmona in 4th. Chevrolet looking for their first win of the year. They've got a good chance here. They got Butcher in the lead and Carmona right there in 4th to challenge the Monster Energy Racing Rams. Now Huck Davis with a good run off of turn 4 on the outside of Wild. Can he do anything with it? He will try. To the inside of Butcher he goes at 2 to go. Foster now under 2 seconds back, but I don't think he'll have enough time to do anything. Davis sends it off in the 1. He clears Ryan Butcher off of turn 2. Davis gets up in front of the 31. Now coming to the white flag, this time by. Can Ryan Butcher make a counter move? Tibb Foster's going to get right up to the draft of these 4, but I don't think he'll be able to get a position on any of them. White flag in the air. 1 more lap here around Auto Club Speedway for the round of California. Davis looking to do what no driver has done all year. Win back-to-back races. Butcher with a peek there down the back straightaway. Does he sail it off into turn 3? And he tried to send it there middle of the corner. He gets tight. He drifts up Wild to his inside. That's going to seal it for Huck Davis. Davis wins 2 in a row here in the Napa Truck Series. He gets it done. Butcher going to hold off Ace Wild for 2nd. Carmona comes home 4th with Tibb Foster rounding out the top 5. So Huck Davis, first driver this year to go 2 in a row. And it's the first time this year a team has won 3 in a row. As Monster Energy Racing gets their 5th win of the season. That'll tie Coyote Autosport for most wins on the year. So, looking at the rest of our top 10, Jerry Cook in 6th, Nelson Reeves 7th, Luke Martin got it up to 8th, Will Goss 9th, and A.J. Jones rounds out the top 10. So, drivers minimizing the most damage here, Tibb Foster, Luke Martin, and A.J. Jones. William Brock comes home in 11th, Bradley Bishop Jr. 13th. And Bob Burns in 16th. So those are your main championship competitors still heading to Milwaukee. Ryan Griffin 19th, Edward Siemba 18th are going to be out of range following this race, so they are officially eliminated from contention. As we look at the rest of the top 20, see Jeff Bolton 12th, Austin Rogers 14th, Fisher 15th, Cody Goforth 17th. How about Aiden Carlton in 20th? Good run for that 92 team. So Single C had Josh crash out early. Haha, funny. And they come away with top 20 by their other 2 trucks. So okay day, but not the best day that they would have wanted. Aiden Smith comes home 21st. I'm only mentioning that because he was down there 40th earlier on. J.D. Martin, man, he had a really good truck today, but maybe a bad adjustment or just didn't make an adjustment. Comes home 22nd. Patrick Smith made that overcut at the end, 23rd for him. Dom Capps, nowhere all day, 24th. Gatlin Downey, 25th. Man, Sean Ard and Blaze McKinney, the result does not show the pace they had this afternoon. They finished 26th and 27th, but they had top 5 pace early on. Malik Nevins, once again, that 48 truck is hit or miss. They were nowhere this afternoon. They come home 30th. Same for Bobo Jones in the 8 and 28th. Dewey Schramm III, another truck we saw in the top 10 briefly. He finishes 31st. As Al Bunch, who started in the top 5, finishes 36th. Nick Breeding, nowhere all the race. And he came home 38th. As you see the 4 drivers that DNF'd here today. That'll do it for me here in California. And I'll see y'all next time in Milwaukee. 3 races to go on the year, and Ace Wild is still your points leader.
She's a fussing and a cussing as I'm packing the truck.